Welcome, everyone, to an early morning game here at the Gene Messer Tournament in Wolford, Texas. Hobbs Eagle basketball live on the radio at Cool 95.7, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page, and, of course, the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Time friend Ron Gunner with you here in Wolford, and Tiffany Stewart back at the station in Hobbs. Last game of the tournament, Ron, not really for a place really that much, but in terms of this competition to finish up this tournament, their fourth game in 3 days as the Hobbs Eagles take on the Brownfield Cubs. Brownfield Cubs is a 3A team in Texas, so about 3 divisions lower than what the Hobbs Eagles are in New Mexico.
Right.
But 6-3 record, though, and some pretty impressive games that they've won at this point. But they're in the kind of the same situation as the Eagles with 2 losses here at the Gene Messer Tournament.
Yeah, and looks like they're going to be playing for lights out. This is only the third time that these two have matched up. In fact, it's been 2008 and 2009, respectively. They had played. 1-1 is the record that they hold. So this will be the tiebreaker. Whoever gets this one will win. But it looks like Hobbs has the advantage a little bit simply because they're the higher-ranked team. But that doesn't mean anything. We've seen lower-ranked teams beat higher-ranked teams with no problems. In fact, you know, we can just look back at Artesia, and they always play above their pay grade, so to speak. And so, yeah, we're going to see a great team between both sides. See maybe if exhaustion may be a little bit of an issue with 4 games in 3 days. Hobbs stayed over here. I don't know what Brownfield did, but either way, you know, it's a short drive. So I'm sure they're rested and very well ready for the game to get played.
And this Brownfield program had won the state championship back in 2016, so just 7 years ago. So definitely have some tradition there. And I think they beat Hobbs. We were talking about this in the history of those two. You mentioned the 2 years that we played them, but they beat Hobbs at Tasker Arena. We came back the next year and beat them on their court in Brownfield. But wasn't that a pretty bad loss for Hobbs at home?
It was, because it was the worst. At that time, it was the worst loss at home for Gilmore. He had never had a 17-point loss at home. That time, Brownfield handed it to them. The next year, they came back strong in Brownfield, were able to get that victory, strong victory over them too. In fact, it was 87-49 was the final. So they had a bit of a redemption, as they put it in the paper. In fact, it was Shelby Reeves Jr. that scored 19 points in that game. And, of course, we know that Shelby Reeves is still coaching, you know, at least this year anyway.
Yeah, 27 years Coach Reeves has been with some type of Hobbs Eagle basketball, girls or boys. So, and, of course, a few years now as a head coach. So definitely would like to finish up on a strong note. And the last game of the Gene Messer Tournament, a good way to do that here. Of course, the Eagles losing the game last night to Canyon. Final score in that one was 60-37, so low point production for the Eagles, although they were hanging with this Canyon team through much of the first half. Second half, a different story. Eagles were doing a good job of shooting from three-point range, though. They did nail 8 of those, 4 coming at the hands of Braylon Vega, who finished with this team high of 13 points. So he definitely had the stroke in that game. Didn't get a lot of score support, nobody else in double digits, but 6 points from Braddock Beatty. And Beatty definitely is a guy that's moved his stock up at this tournament. He wasn't starting the first few games. Coach has him in the starting lineup tonight. Of course, he did have some big point production with that game against Caprock, where him and Payne were doing a great job of scoring with those two. But he's moved himself into a starting position, does a good job of getting around the perimeter, getting open for three-point shots, crashes the boards, and has a little bit of that football type of physicality in there. As he, of course, he did play for the Eagles earlier this year.
He has the heart, the desire. He has some good results, and that adds up all to the fact that, you know what, this kid is proving himself as a bench player. Let's see what he does as a starter. Let's see if we can get a firm 5 starters, or at least firm 6. That way you've got an option to be able to rotate that out, in and out each week. But, yeah, you definitely want to see who can step up, who can do what they need to do, and who's just going to be kind of lackluster.
Well, Eagles did a good job last night, even though they did lose to Canyon, getting their turnovers cleaned up. They only had 2 turnovers that I have officially, at least what I was seeing out there in that ball game. They've had some issues before that against Friendship and a Caprock, too, both double-digit turnovers in those games, but just 2 in that game last night, so that definitely cleaned up things. But the problem was it went in the reverse for rebounds. Hobbs having a major trouble rebounding against the Canyon squad. And, in fact, I believe the numbers were like 36 to 12 or something.
Yeah, something way off.
Yeah, way skeltered there. So that's something that the Eagles got to get themselves thinking about. We had too many one-and-outs, quite a bit of those in the first half especially. I mean, you're going to get 3-point shots, and you're not going to have everybody just waiting to dunk it through after it misses off the rim. But way too many times of just one guy just waiting for Canyon, pulling it down and going the other way on the transition game. Not as bad as the friendship contest where we saw a track meet the whole game, but Eagles got to use their butts. I'm just going to put it bluntly here. Got to get their butt into somebody and force them out of the paint area. We got a couple big guys that can take care of that, too, for the Hobbs Eagles, of course. Jairus Turbiatis and Malachi David. We haven't really talked about Parker Henderson at all yet because he is injured. He's been out for this whole tournament, but he's factoring in probably next week. Coach Reese is expecting a leg injury to be back on track to be back on the roster there. But he's been here at the games helping the team out in warm-ups like he is rebounding right now. But adding a third post player, that's a pretty tasty situation for Hobbs, Ron. They don't always have big guys.
Exactly. They're very rarely have big guys. It's a Tasker thing. Not sure why exactly he hated them. But, I always love to see them under the net. They can definitely block. They can get the rebounds, and they can get that offense started up with a defensive stop.
Looking at the two teams in the tournament, of course, both have lost a couple of games for this Brownfield team. They lost to Rockwell Heath. That's a team that's going to be in the championship here later today. They lost to them 69-45. Beat Midland, which is a surprise win by 10, 53-43, and then lost to Canyon Randall yesterday, 83-39. So they're averaging 45 points here at the tournament and giving up 65. So they're spotting 20 to the other teams that they've played so far, and definitely need to get back on track offensively. For the Hobbs Eagles, they're averaging 47 points a game, 2 better than Brownfield, but they're giving up 69, which is 4 worse than Brownfield. So the offense a little bit plus for the Eagles, defense plus for Brownfield. This should be a good battle to go on here. Again, Brownfield just a 3A squad here in Texas, which would be equivalent to about a 2A in New Mexico. But again, this is about playing basketball, not worrying about distinctions and divisions, etc. Jerron Lawrence, one of their best players on this Cubs team, very short team, by the way. He had 3 3-pointers against Lubbock Monterey, and Lubbock Monterey, one of the best teams here at the state at this tournament here in Wolford. So he definitely can stroke it from the outside. Getting ready for the start. Hobbs were in their white uniforms, black numbers, and gold trim. They've worn the same uniforms for every game at this tourney. Brownfield, the black uniforms, white numbers, and red trim. As Jairus Turbiatis will be the man to start it off for the Eagles at the center position, as expected. Braylon Vega, Jose Pena. We mentioned Braddock Beatty on the lineup in terms of starters today. Brian Acosta, who's had a quiet tournament so far. And, of course, Turbiatis is going to be jumping up. Easy tip into the front court for the Eagles against Quaviance Busby. And we're starting the game here. Last game of the Gene Messer tournament here in Wolford, Texas. Pena on the right wing. Swings it up top. Here's a 3 for Vega off the pass, and he puts it through. Nice stroke. Right through the net there on the 3. Vega getting it going early. 4 trays last night in that loss to Canyon. Great way to get this game started. And he's just a sophomore. Long ball to the other end, gets knocked out of bounds off the leg of the Cubs, and it will be the first turnover of the game for Brownfield.
Yeah, Hobbs starting off early with a strong defense, and I know it's going to throw them off, but let's see if they continue that.
Taking his time across the stripe is Vega. Looks like a matchup defense for the Cubs. Back it out to the timeline is Pena after getting the pass. Comes right in front of the Brownfield bench. Dribbling through his legs, going strong to the baseline, but they're going to call the 5-second violation as he took off. So the Eagles now with their first turnover. 1 apiece for each team.
Yeah, that would have cost him a basket, too. He did make that layup.
3-0 early after the Vega tray. Double team in the backcourt, but coming across to the high pass is Lawrence. He's going to probably be their best scorer. Give it off to right wing to JoJo Carrillo, dribbling behind his back. Backs out against Turbiatis again. Very small Cubs squad on the court. Up top of the pass to Carroll. Carroll's going to swing it to the left side to Busby. Busby hands off behind, going left to right to Lawrence. Top of the circle, zigzags back down the lane. Lost the ball momentarily. Pena got a piece of it. Ball tipped out there to left wing to Busby, and a bad pass in the lane. Taken away by the new starter in this game. And we're talking Beatty, second turnover for Brownfield. But they get the ball back after a bad pass. Throw it up court to a layup left side foul. As trying to get up high was Jaron Lawrence, but he'll get 2 free throws after an Eagle foul.
Yeah, and Brownfield forced the action on that one and drove to the lane. Did not get the nice basket, but they did get the foul, so they get a chance to put some points on the board.
Too early in the morning, huh?
I know.
First
trying to say bucket and basket.
First free throw up and good for Lawrence. 1 point for the Cubs. Hobbs came into this contest shooting at the line at 59%. Their opponent at 75%. Second miss for Lawrence on that one. He's 1 of 2 on the line. 1 point for the Cubs, 3 for the Eagles. Pena gets the rebound as he brings it across the time stripe. Drives to the left wing, and they're going to call a push-off foul. Is that Beatty pushing off? No, they're going to call somebody else on that one. It looks like Acosta off ball. So Acosta going to pick up his first. 2 on the Eagles now, and that'll be the second turnover as well. Eagles, in terms of turnovers in this tournament, have a total of 40, averaging 13 a game and causing 12.5 for their opponents at 39. So they really cleaned up their numbers in that last game against Canyon. Hobbs been out-rebounded, though, on the average 32-22. Three-point shot from the right wing, way off the mark, back of the rim. Turbiatas coming down with it for the Eagles for his first rebound. Outlet to the timeline to Vega, zings it down to Beatty in the left corner. Up top to Pena. Gets a screen right from Acosta, uses it, stop-and-go dribble to the corner. Looking for help, finds Beatty on the right wing, fakes a 3, gets a double team, slings it left side to Turbiatas, drives to the left elbow, shot on the way, off the back of the rim, but no rebounding underneath except for the Cubs, and coming down with it is Jojo Carrillo. He'll bring it across the timeline. Spins against Pena, comes right, unloads to the wing to Busby. Top of the arc, jump stop, bounce pass in the paint. As he gets it inside to Trubeck. Trubeck relieves over to Carroll on the left wing. Takes a dribble down the lane, scoop shot high, and he's pushed in the back, called the foul on Turbiatas. For Carroll. For Turbiatas, that will be his first personal. Already 3 team fouls, 3-0 foul count, not a good way to start.
No, and Brownfield is forcing those fouls from Hobbs simply because they're driving the lane. Hobbs has not yet drove the lane as far as I know.
First shot is up, and swish put through by Carroll. Cubs are now 2 for 3 on the line at this point. And the score now 3-2. Carroll can tie it up with the second free throw. It's up, and it is good. We are tied at 3 apiece. 5:31 left first quarter. Final game of the Gene Messner tournament in Wolford, Texas. Payne with the basketball as he goes one-on-one against Lawrence. Throws a high one down to Beatty left wing. Dump it to Acosta on the left baseline. Picks up a double team. Finds Turbiatas at the free throw line. Up top to Vega. Backs into his defender off the dribble, and he's going to go all the way over to the Cubs bench off the dribble. Back to Pena with the pass at the timeline. Stop and go to the right wing with a big jump stop now. Up top to Acosta. Lost the handle on it. Goes back and tracks it down and keeps the dribble alive. Sends it to Vega on the left wing, asking for a screen. Not going to get it. Gives it to Acosta instead on the left block. Uses up his dribble. Back door to Vega. Reverse layup left side and scores. Nice finger roll. Vega already with all 5 of the Hobbs Eagle points. 5-3 score with 4:51 left first quarter. The 2-2-1 trap for the Eagles on the full court. Ball's deflected at the timeline by Vega. Back in the hands of Carroll. And a timeout's going to be called on the court.
Yeah, they were getting close to that 10-second violation.
So that's a good call by the Cubs to talk about it in the timeouts frame here. 4:42 remaining first quarter. Hobbs 5, Brownfield 3. We're back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Gene Messner Tournament in Wolford, Texas. Your Hobbs Eagles lead 5-3. And for the tournament, the Eagles have the top scorer, Payne, averaging 11 points a game, Beatty at 9. Those two combining for 20 a contest. Vega has 6.5 a game, 5.5 for Turbiatas. It is Cubs with the basketball. Turbiatas gets a piece of the pass up top. It rolls to the near sideline, picked up, though, by Carrillo for Brownfield. He's back at the time stripe now. Spins and gives out the ball on the right wing to Carroll. Top of the circle, slides left, bounce pass to the left wing to Lawrence. Drives baseline, 15-footer off the left side of the iron, no good. Pulling it down on the right block and then dumping it out to the right wing is Busby. And a shot from 3 from the right side, put it through for 3. And that will be Carrillo with his first shot of the ball game. First tray for the Brownfield Cubs. They've got the first lead of the game at 6-5. Coming down the lane at the other end, missing the layup is Payne. He might have got a block from behind, gets his own rebound, and dishes out right corner. Driving the lane is McGahey with the floater. Comes off the side of the iron, and it's rebounded by the Cubs. Pulled down in the deep left corner by Busby, his second rebound, and gets it across the timeline to Lawrence. Right wing, stop and go with the handoff to Carroll. Back deep to the timeline to Carrillo. Swing it to the left side to Busby. Gets a screen up top from Trubenbeck. Dishes off to the right wing to Carroll. Handoff behind on the near sideline to Lawrence. Throws it back door and going up high with 2 hands on the right block is Trubenbeck as he puts it off the glass for 2. His first bucket Brownfield now with 4 scorers in the ball game. They lead 8-5. Their biggest lead is 3. McGahey passes in front of the top of the arc to Vega. Swing it left side to Pena. Screen from Turbiatis outside the perimeter. Pena not going to use it. Instead gives to Vega in front of the Cubs bench on the right wing. And now a timeout for the Hobbs Eagles, as looks like jumping off the bench and not liking the momentum of the ball going around that perimeter. That was a timeout called to discuss the offensive production here. 8-5 your score. We'll keep it here at the gym at Friendship High School. Let's talk about some of our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle Hoops on the road here this week, Ron.
You bet. We are happy to have Lasco Construction helping us out, along with Forest Tire, TDS, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Healthcare, NMR Pipeline, and First American Bank of Hobbs. Thank you very much for all the support.
For all you Hobbs Eagle fans that are at home today, don't forget there is a home game coming up on Tuesday. Hobbs will be hosting Centennial coming out of Las Cruces. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip. 6:45 pregame show will be on the radio and the internet. And boy, that's a quick turnaround for the Eagles. All 4 games coming up in 3 days that we've had. And now they got about, 3 days of practice and back on the hardwood there at Tasker.
Exactly. It's usually either feast or famine with them. They either have a whole bunch in a small, tight group, or they have a lot of downtime, especially in December sometimes. And, I don't know. I think they like the extra play more than the practice. You get more experience from the play than you do practice.
Yeah, after the December 5th game on Tuesday, they have a whole week off. December 12th, the next on the list at Lubbock Trinity. Then they have a game at Mayfield and Oregon Mountain, 21st and 22nd. So a string of road games after Tuesday's Centennial matchup. Eagle basketball after the break, and already a 3 being attempted by a sub that just checked in. That was Josiah Clay off the back of the rim. Rebound for the Cubs by Busby, his 3rd. Tries to dribble up court down the middle and gets bumped into by the Eagles. They get the foul on Jordan Caceres, who just checked in. Caceres had a pretty decent game yesterday on that loss to Canyon. He had 2 3-pointers, ended up with 6 points. So those bench players love to show coach, hey, give me some more time on that hardwood. Cubs will bring it across the timeline with a pass to Carroll on the right wing, dribbles to the free throw line, spins on the pivot, and kicks out to Mott on the right wing. Back deep to the time stripe to Busby. Stop and go dribble, kick off left to Carrillo. NBA 3 on the way, off the front of the rim. We got bodies crashing underneath. It looks like a Hobbs Eagle flat on his back, and that was Jordan Caceres getting knocked to the floor. So that'll be a foul on Brownfield, their first. See who they called that against. Looked like they might have got that on their biggest kid out there, Quiviance Busby, his first. Eagle basketball in the front court, and a pass over to the right wing. It looked like Nick Pena took a big jump step as he caught the ball and tried to advance without the dribble and got a traveling violation. He looks back to the referee, didn't even know what the call was, but pretty obvious, a little bit too wide of a stance on that one. 3rd turnover for the Eagles. 2:15 remaining first quarter. Brownfield up 8-5. Stop and go dribble to the right side. The handoff to the near sideline to KJ Carroll. Dribbles up top. Returns to Correa on the right wing. Top of the arc. Stop and go again to the left elbow. Flicks it to the left corner. 3 on the way for Busby out the back of the iron. Rebound right block by Caceres, his first. He'll take the dribble into the front court speedily. Dribbles behind his back. Lost the ball. And a tie-up on the hardwood. Both players diving to the floor. Quiviance Busby tying him up. The jump ball arrow is pointing for... looks like the Cubs, but the arrow actually at the table says the Cubs, but the referee was pointing the other direction. Is the arrow wrong or not?
No, I think he's corrected it now. They are going to be inbounding it, the Cubs are.
Yep, it'll be Brownfield basketball in the backcourt near right sideline as they get it in to Carrillo. Carrillo's going to go one-on-one, taking on Josiah Clay through the timeline. Comes to the left wing into the front court, gets a screen from Mata. Returns him out on the left wing. Quick pass to the left sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench to Lawrence. Returns back deep to the time stripe to Carrillo. Lost the ball. Good hands on it by Clay. Loose at the top of the arc. Recovered by Carrillo. Hand off behind him to Carroll at the top of the circle. We got a reach foul call. So calling it real tight at the perimeter that time. They charged the foul to the Eagles. That's Pena's first. Already the 14th foul. No, that's the 15th foul.
Right.
So that will be the double bonus now on the line. Will be KJ Carroll. The Cubs are 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. Carroll 2 for 2 as he'll be on the line for the second time. First shot is up, and it is good. All 3 points for Carroll at the stripe. Substitution for the Eagles returning to the court, Braylon Vega, as he comes in for Amari McGahey. 9-5, biggest lead so far for the Cubs. 4. Second shot's up, and it's a swish as well for Carroll with 4 points. 4-point lead for Brownfield. or make it 5. 10-5 your score, doubling up on the Eagles. Coming across the timeline is Clay. Bounce pass on the right wing to Pena with a jab step now in front of the Cubs bench. Returns to Clay, top of the circle, drives the lane, left elbow. Pass to Vega, left wing, up top off the dribble. Throws a high one brought down by Caceres right side. He throws up an errant 3 off the glass, but right in the hands of the rebounder waiting for it, Carroll. Hobbs not getting down to business when it comes to the boards. Carrillo's second rebound. He drives a lane to the baseline left side, throws it back to the right side wing to Carroll. Kick off to the left corner, 3 on the way for Lawrence is a swish. Second tray of the game for the Cubs. That's 4 points for Lawrence, and now a 8-point Brownfield lead, 13-5. Here in the first. 3 at the other end for David. The big man's going to throw up one and put it through the cylinder. Malachi David coming off the bench. Second tray of the game for the Eagles. It's now 13-8. Nice answer there for the post.
Definitely.
And remember, just a freshman, 9th grader for the Eagles. 30 seconds left in the quarter as Carrillo comes around the arc. Handed off to Lawrence, top of the circle as he slides with the dribble. Shoves off on Pena, no call. Falls to the floor, almost lost the ball. Able to get loaded to Busby on the left wing and get a touch pass down to the left corner. Coming back now around the circles, Carrillo off the dribble. Zigzags to the Hobbs Eagle bench left wing. To his legs, continues with the bounce pass left block to Mata. Tries to shoot on top of David, gets rejected right to the baseline, out of bounds. Didn't even have to jump that time as he just stood flat-footed Malachi David and didn't have to. He just punched the ball as hard as he could.
Yeah, but we got about 4.54 seconds left, so it's going to be a quick release and shoot.
They try to get it in bounds. A nice job of swatting the inbounds pass for the Eagles by Braylon Vega. Knocked it right back to the baseline, but a reset here for Brownfield. They get it into the left wing with the ball in the hands of Carrillo, who runs over his defender, but they might have called the block foul against the Eagles. Defender was Josiah Clay, and yep, he gets the foul. They're going to say he wasn't set. That is the 6th team foul, though 5 is a double bonus. So 2 shots for JoJo Carrillo, who has hit a tray so far in this game. As a team, they are 5 of 6 from the charity stripe, only missed 1 so far.
And the first one, so they've got 5 in a row right now.
First free throw is up and good. 4 points for Carrillo. 5-1 foul count in favor of Brown. Make it 6-1 in favor of Brownfield. 1 more free throw attempt here for Carrillo. The Cubs have had 4 scores so far, 2 for the Eagles. Second shot is good. 5 points for Carrillo. It's now 15-8, the biggest lead, or make it the second biggest lead for the Cubs. Down to 1 second, a half-court shot at the buzzer for Vega. Hits the top of the backboard right, no good. At the end of 1, Brownfield leading 15-8 over your Hobbs Eagles. We'll take a quick 60-second break and come back with more Gene Messer tournament action on your No Mark broadcasting stations. Second quarter action getting underway at the Gene Messer tournament. Your Hobbs Eagles trail Brownfield 15-8. Top score for the Eagles. Vega with 5, 3 for David. And for the Brownfield Cubs, they've got 5 for Carrillo, 4 for Carroll, and 4 for Lawrence. Hobbs basketball to start the second. A pass down to Beatty in the left corner. Returns up top to Vega. Swing it right side to Pena on the perimeter. Touch pass to Acosta right elbow. Over to Beatty on the right wing. Uses up his dribble. Bounce it low to Acosta right block. He gets a double team. Tries to sail it in the lane. Lost by Turbiatas. Turnover for the Eagles. They're 4th of the ball game. And now in the hands who lost it, though, Jaron Lawrence. He able to tip it out to his teammate at the timeline. That's Lawrence as he gives it off now to the right wing to Carrillo. Guarded by Acosta. Front court. Handoff on the near sideline to Timmons, who just checked in this second quarter. Sends it to the left wing to Lawrence. Handoff behind on the left side to Busby. Drives the lane, tries to dump it right wing. It's tipped in the air by Pena. Picked up top of the arc for 3 now for Timmons, and he nails it from downtown range. Coming off the bench, the sophomore with the tray. third three-point shot converted by the Cubs, who now lead 18-8, their biggest lead. Eagles at the other end. Turbiatas, top of the arc. Over to right side to Vega. Cross court left to Pena. He'll spot up a three. Nice air on that one, but it hits the back of the rim, no good. Another Cubs rebound as pulling it down is Busby, his fourth. Finds a man open in the right corner and nails another three. Second tray of the game for Carrillo. That's 4 trays for the Cubs, and that's going to cause the Hobbs Eagle coaching staff to call another timeout. Eagles are bleeding a little bit now, down by 13, their biggest deficit, 21-8 with 6:36 left in the second quarter. We'll take a quick 30-second break and come back live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and on the radio at Cool 95.7. Back here at the Gene Messer Tournament in Wolford, Texas. Ty friend Ron Gunner, Tiffany Stuber back at the station, and three-pointers starting to affect the Eagles in the wrong way. The Brownfield Cubs are hitting him 4 trays so far, Ron, at 21-8 lead against the Eagles. Long pass down to Turbiatas on the left baseline after the timeout. Finds Vega on the left wing, back deep to Pena at the timeline. Eagles had a transition move in there, but decided to pull it out. Pena waiting for a screen, not going to get it, but gives to Vega instead on the right wing, but jumps with his feet, shuffles sideways, no dribble, and gets a travel. Hobbs down with 5 turnovers, 2 for the Brownfield Cubs, and definitely need to start doing a better job of getting the offense set up.
Yeah, they're limiting their offensive possessions, and that is really not helping them at all, getting points on the board.
Rebound count 6-2 in favor of Brownfield. Another big factor in this game so far besides the three-point shots. Brownfield throwing the perimeter game on the near sideline is Timmons, stop and go. One-hand bounce pass to the right block. That's Tejon Stell. Lost the ball, taken away by Beatty. That's the third turnover for Brownfield. Throws it up ahead to Pena, who leans towards the hoop from the right block after the pass. Knocks his defender down, but they say he was moving. Count the basket off the glass and a foul. That'll be on Jojo Carrillo, his first team foul here in the second half. Hobbs, it was a 6-1 foul count in the first quarter, 6 against the Eagles. So put 2 in the books for Pena. Third score for Hobbs so far. 21-10 the score, trying to make it 11. The referee called for the ball back for some reason. I think the ref said 2 shots, and I think Pena reminded him it was 1 and get things corrected there.
Right.
First shot for Pena, the only shot. He's got 3 as he makes that one. 21-11, back to a 10-point ball game. Eagles been down by as many as 13 here in the first half. Coming across the timeline to slow it down is Jojo Carrillo. Unloads to Jaden Gonzalez on the left wing in front of the Hobbs bench. Backs it out. Crossover move, double team against him, Beatty and Pena. Uses up the dribble, throws a bad pass to the backcourt, but it was deflected, picked up by Timmons. Timmons gets through 2 defenders to the lane, dumps it back door, but a bad pass behind it. Beatty's got another steal. That's the 4th turnover. Beatty, the one-man wrecking crew on defense, and gets hammered after the steal as they call the foul on the Cubs. That's against a Tejon Stell, his first, and that will be the second team foul against the Cubs here in this second quarter. David's going to return for the Eagles, in for Brian Acosta. I'm waiting to see Acosta get a breakout game. He's been very quiet in the first 3 of this Gene Messer tournament.
Yeah, hopefully he can do it really quickly so we can see exactly what his potential can be.
Does have some size, likes to post up too. Pass inside to Turbiatas, at least the top of the arc. He gets in between 2 players, and looks like he got hammered by both Carrillo and Gonzalez, so I'll have to call one of them.
Exactly.
Jaden Gonzalez picks up his first. That'll be the 3rd team foul, so the foul count shifting the other way. The Cubs have 3, none for the Eagles here in the second. Still a 10-point Cubs lead, though. Inbound to Vega, left corner. Thought about a 3. Returns to Beatty on the left wing. Up top to Pena. A 1-1-3 zone for the Cubs. Back to Vega on the left side. His 3 is nothing but net. Braylon Vega, his second tray of the game, leads the Eagles with 8. Third three-pointer for Hobbs as well. And a 21-14 lead for the Cubs now with 4:55 remaining in the second. Coming across the timeline, the pass to the left corner. Martinez drives the baseline. Scoop shot, misses underneath the rim. Rebound, Turbiatas, his second of the game. Outlet across the timeline. Pena going to dribble to 15 on the right side and throws down to Jay. Put it through the hole for Abraham Pena, all 5 of his points in the second. 21-16. The Eagles in the comeback. A steal at the other end, at the top of the arc. Vega takes it away. Sends it ahead to Pena. The righty layup missed. Tip back up by Vega, who's fouled going up on the left side of the glass. He misses off the iron, but he'll get some free throws out of it. That's his first rebound. Leads the team with 8 points. And they get the foul on the Cubs. Looks like they'll charge that one to number 23. That's Trey Timmons, his first. 14 foul, 1 away from the double bonus for the Eagles the rest of this second quarter. Vega with the first free throw up and good. So now 9 points. Eagles have kind of traded top scorers in this tournament. Pena had 22 in game 2 against Camp Rock. Vega had 13 last night against Canyon. And Beatty with 19 in that game against Cap Rock. So a couple guys stepping up at different times.
Well, we were told that they didn't want a superstar. They wanted a team effort, and that's pretty much what they're getting overall.
Vega got 2 free throws, 10 points for him, and a foul on the body. The Hobbs fans not liking that, called against the Eagles. Referee has to face the Hobbs cheering section right of the scoreboard or the score table. They get that one again, so I think it was 22. I believe that's Pena they called that. His first team foul here in the second quarter. 21-18, a 3-point lead for the Cubs after Hobbs was digging out of a double-digit deficit. Pass down to the left corner, 3 on the way for Rivera, off the side of the rim, no good. Big rebound for David underneath, got his arms stretched out, his first board. Outlet to Vega in the front court, sends it to Beatty in the left corner, his 3 over the rim, no good. Turbiatas just goes back up with it on a semi-hook on the right glass and scores. Turbiatas 3 rebounds and 2 points now, 4 different scores for the Eagles, and we've got ourselves a 1-point game. Hobbs down 21-20. At the other end, right side, Rivera gives off behind on the near side to Gonzalez, dribbles up top. A lot of subs in the game for the Cubs. They've given up a big lead here. Using up the dribble in the back pedal is Gonzalez. Unloads the right wing to Rivera. Returns Gonzalez near the timeline to Rivera on the right wing. Yo-yo passing game going on. Cross court left, a save by Carrillo to the left wing in the hands of Busby. Tries to put it down the lane. His pass is deflected off a Cub, an Eagle and a Cub, and it goes out of bounds on the baseline. So I don't know if that was a great sub pattern for Coach McPherson for the Cubs, but they gave up about 7 points. The Eagles only down by 1.
Well, with the aggressiveness of the Eagles right now, they're playing a lot stronger than they did in the first quarter, and I think that is throwing McPherson off big time as far as his game. He has to regroup and see if he can get his game back in play as he was playing in the first quarter.
Yeah, calls the timeout to talk to his Cubs right now. That's 6 turnovers now for the Cubs, 5 for the Eagles, but this game has definitely turned around here in the past few minutes. 21-20 your score. This is the final game of the Gene Messer tournament, so you can't wait till tomorrow. It's now or never.
It feels like a 13-point run. It seems like Hobbs has got all the points, and the Cubs just have been stuck at 20, and they just have not been able to score anything since, basically something sparked the Eagles and has brought them back to life. They got more aggressive, and as they're doing so, they're also getting those foul calls they've been wanting to get instead of getting the foul calls against them.
Eagles with a 12-point production here in the second quarter, just 8 for the Cubs. So Hobbs outscoring them by 4 at this point. The 3-point count right now is 4 for Brownfield and 3 for the Eagles. Hobbs still getting out rebounded, though, which definitely is something they got to get looking at, get some guys to block out. There's 6 rebounds for Brownfield. And Hobbs actually started to take the lead in this late part of this second quarter. They got some guys crashing, including Turbiatas. He has 3. So now they have 7. So they're out rebounding Brownfield here just in the last 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, and this also reminds me of the last time these two played. It was a big run for Hobbs that got him back into the game.
Pena in the front court, top of the arc, finds Vega on the right wing, gets a double team, returns to Pena, swing it left to Beatty outside the perimeter. To Pena, top of the circle against a 2-3 zone. Vega gets a pass right wing, fires a 3 off the back of the rim. Turbiatas with the rebound on the left baseline. He goes back up in the lane, sidewinder hook, it's knocked to the floor. He had 3 men on him that time and was bodied up as he was in the air. So they get the foul call on the Brownfield Cubs. That's against Trebenek, his first. That's the 5th team foul. That'll be double bonus the rest of this second quarter. Turbiatas on the line. Hobbs 3 for 3 on the charity stripe. Vega with 2 and Pena with 1. We mentioned earlier Hobbs came into the last game of this tournament with a 59% free throw percentage as Turbiatas makes his first. 3 points for Turbiatas. Right now the score numbers, Vega with 10, 5 for Pena, 3 apiece for Turbiatas and David. And for Brownfield, it's 8 for Carrillo, 4 apiece for Carroll and Lawrence, who have not scored yet in the second quarter. Nice swish on the second free throw for Turbiatas. He's got 4 points, all coming in the second. Hobbs back with the lead, 22-21. In the backcourt is Carrillo. Throws it across the timeline, a touch pass to Busby. Busby spins on the left wing. Sends it down to a wide open man who juggles the ball in the right corner. Carroll should have had a 3-point shot. Instead tries to put it down low. Ball's knocked out of bounds by the Eagles in the paint. Pena and David inside there to knock it away. If you would have caught that ball in the corner, that would have been an easy 3 attempt there for Carroll, but bobbled it instead. Inbound to the left corner to Busby. Sends it back deep on the far left sideline to Lawrence near the scorer's table. Swing it right to Carrillo while outside the perimeter, guarded by the Eagles. Vega and a whistle. Didn't see any contact or anything. They're pointing back at the scoreboard for some reason. I don't know if the clock maybe didn't start or what the situation was. They're making an adjustment there possibly. Clock's at 2:42, but they're not changing anything on that.
I guess they're just starting it up. Again, looks like that is right. It was a clock problem, not anything else.
Inbound to the backcourt to Carrillo. Comes across against Beatty on the left wing. A screen behind him for Busby. Zings it down to a wide open Lawrence for 3, and he puts it right through the hole. Lawrence with his second tray of the game. He's got 7 points, the 5th 3-point shot for the Cubs. At the other end is Pena trying to unload to the left wing, and the ball's tipped out, intended for Vega, knocked out by the speedy guard, Jerron Lawrence. Substitution for the Eagles. Nick Pena comes in for Pena. Pena for Pena. Trying to say that fast, Ron.
Pena.
Pickle peppers too, right?
Yeah.
Inbound to the timeline to Pena. Returns to Beatty left wing again to Pena. 2-3 zone still for the Cubs. Driving around the right circle. Sends it back left to Beatty. Fakes a 3 with the jab step. Uses up his dribble. Tipped pass inside to Turbiatis. Returns up top to Pena. Stop and go dribble. Back to Turbiatis on the give and go. Finger roll over the front of the rim. Foul. The ball comes off the iron, but the foul is going to be called on the body. Late whistle on that one as they get the foul on Joe Mata. That's his first. 6th team foul. Only need 5 for the double bonus, so Turbiatis will get a chance for more free throws. He's perfect so far, 2 for 2, and has 4 points. Eagles 5 for 5 at the charity stripe.
Yeah, it looked like Turbiatis just didn't quite get enough of it. Looked like he had a right touch, but just not enough to get it into the basket.
Makes the free throw. All 3 made for Turbiatis here in the second quarter. Beatty's going to take a breather as we get a new sub in the game. Get that here in just a second as Turbiatis ready to fire up another free throw. It's up and bouncing around the rim, no good, falls off. The sub in the game for the Eagles. Coming on the court is Jaime Cano. Rebound was pulled down by Carrillo, his 3rd. Pass down the lane, a reverse layup on the right side. Eagles caught sleeping on D. Mata with his first bucket. It's now 26-23. Cubs in the lead. Quickly in the front court, Pena on the left wing. Backs it out. Gets his pass deflected. It's taken away on the steal on the flip out by Jaron Lewis, a 6th Eagle turnover. Lewis into the front court, top of the arc, over to Busby left wing. Sends it down left corner, 3 on the way for Carrillo off the mark, back of the iron, and pulled it down by David in the right corner. David with his 2nd rebound, outlet to the near sideline. Here comes Pena. Pena with the stop and go, down the lane with the hippity hop, backdoor look for Turbiatis, who isn't ready for it. Hot potato rolls off his fingertips, out of bounds. That's the 7th Hobbs Eagle turnover.
Yeah, we've seen that a little too often. Hopefully they'll be calmed down in the second half.
Eagles have 3 men in the backcourt trying to get the traps going. Pass down to the timeline, brought across by Carroll. Carroll comes down the lane as he cradles it, gets held onto for a second. They're going to say the Eagles got the last touch and pull the ball out. David and Turbiatis both getting a hand on the leather, and it rolls out of bounds for the Cubs possession. Brian Acosta comes back in for David. Inbound coming from the right base, getting into the right corner to Busby. Back deep to the timeline of Carrillo, swings it down left corner. 3 on the way for Lawrence off the back of the rim. Rebound for Turbiatis on the baseline, his 5th board of the game, leading both teams. They get the pass to the timeline and stumbling ahead, getting a travel. Jaime Cano, he tried to dribble, and I think Turbiatis ran into him from behind, and they had a collision of their own teammates there for the 8th turnover.
Yeah, he lost his footing, was trying to get away with the pass without the travel and did not succeed.
They quickly sub out Cano and bring back on the court for the Eagles Clay. Perimeter passing game now for the Cubs, 26-23. Brownfield leading with 50 seconds left in the second. Pass deep back to the timeline to Carrillo. He backs into Pena, gets a screen from Busby. Cross court right with the pass to Carroll, down to the right corner. 3 on the way for Lawrence, off the rim, no good. In transition, Brian Acosta after the rebound as he finds Pena on the right block with a pivot to Turbiatis in the lane. Fade shot off the right side of the rim. Gets his own rebound, and they're going to say he pushed to get the board. The foul on Turbiatis. Good aggressiveness, though, for this big kid, Jairus Turbiatis. He is crashing hard now.
Yeah, and that's what we like to see, aggressive. play, and also the possibility of getting more fouls, not against, but for.
Turbiata's 5 rebounds so far and 5 points. 30 seconds remaining in this second quarter as Coach McPherson telling his team just to settle down a little bit and get the last shot. Dribbling around the half-court line to come across is Carell. His pass deflected momentarily, but gets it back from Beatty. Knocked out from behind by Beatty on the nice steal. That's going to be the 7th turnover. They try to get it up court on the near sideline to Clay, but he has to save it, but he steps on the sideline. That'll be the Eagles' turnover. You can't have tit for tat here, Ron. Get a chance at the ball. You got to take advantage of it.
Exactly. He just lost control of that ball. Otherwise, it would have been a nice score.
10 seconds remaining in the half. The ball in the hands of Lawrence. Sends it down the left corner to Busby. To the left wing still to Carrillo with 3 seconds. Lost the ball in the lane as he tried to dribble. Gets it back. Scoop shot at the buzzer. Comes off the front of the rim. No good. So deflected dribble that time. Picked it up and tried to get it back to the hole, but that won't go through. And your Hobbs Eagles trailing by 3 at the end of the second quarter. You're listening live to Gene Messer tournament action on the radio at Cool 95.7, the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. We'll come back in 3 minutes on your Hobbs Eagle Network. Back to halftime action here at the Gene Messer Tournament in Wolford, Texas, right outside of Lubbock. Ty friend Ron Gunner and back of the station, Tiffany Stuber. Also, Michael Thompson listening in Carlsbad, one of the best refs in New Mexico. I know he's smiling when I just said that. Just got a text from him, of course, listening to us and watching the game on the internet. Well, the Hobbs Eagles got a little bit of a hole to dig out of Ron Gunner, 26-23, a 3-point deficit. Eagles have had some leads in this game, but down by double digits at one point. It's kind of been a seesaw affair up to this point, but a lot of teams kind of wondering what to do in their last game of a tournament. Do you put a lot of subs in there to get experience? Do you try to run the gun up the court, get a lot of people some action and get some scoring done? Do you work on your plays on the half-court set, full-court press, your half-court defense, kind of a, it's not for a championship, so every decision is not going to probably fail you, but you want to get out of the tournament with another win. Of course, the Hobbs Eagles do. The same with this Brownfield team. Both only have one win so far at the tournament. They beat Midland, and the Hobbs Eagles beat Caprock, so kind of a rubber match with these two teams. They haven't played for quite a few years. How many years was it, 20 or 19 or something?
It was 15.
15 years, so definitely it's nice to get a chance to play them. Not too far away from Hobbs as well, and a few miles down the road from Lubbock as on top of that. So your keys for second half, we'll get the numbers here in just a minute, but rebounds, I would just throw that in here real quick. The rebound situation is not too bad at this point. The Eagles really came back strong, getting some boards, especially in that second quarter, thanks to Jairus Turbiatis. And so Hobbs with 11 rebounds compared to 7 for the Cubs. The Cubs are leading in rebounds for most of that first quarter, and that's why they had the lead.
Yeah, well, they need to stop floundering in the first. At the end of the first quarter, Hobbs was making a lot of mistakes. They were turning the ball over, whether it be travel, whether it be one and done, whatever it was. They were not having a lot of chances to get opportunities to shoot, and when they were making mistakes, getting some fouls as well. They got the Brownfield on the line in the first quarter. The second quarter, Hobbs got on the line simply because Hobbs was being aggressive like the Cubs were in the first quarter. So it was aggression. So Hobbs in the second quarter took over the game basically, got aggressive, got those foul calls for them, and got on the line as well, helped out as far as their shooting goes. And so they need to do that. They need to get back into it, stop passing around like we saw last game where they did in the fourth quarter trying to get the ball open. Just go ahead and make your openings. Don't try to wait for them.
Looking at the points in the first half, nobody in double digits yet for Brownfield. The leading scorer, JoJo Carrillo, he's got 8 points, 2 trays, and 2 for 2 on the line. Jerron Lawrence has 7. He's got 2 trays, 1 for 2 from the free throw stripe. KJ Carroll's made all 4 of his free throws for 4 points. Trey Timmons hit a tray for 3. And Joe Mata and Tom Tribanek both have a bucket apiece for 2. They've had 6 scores in the first half and doing pretty well on the free throw line, 7 of 8 for 87%. They've had a total of 7 turnovers in the first half, and once again been out-rebounded 11-7 to the Hobbs Eagles. Hobbs stats, they do have a double-digit score in Braylon Vega. He's hit 2 trays, 2 for 2 on the line, and has 10 points. A pair of 5s for Abraham Pena, who's 1 of 1 from the line, and also Jairus Turbiatis, who's got 5. He is 3 for 4 from the charity stripe, all coming in the second quarter. Turbiatis leads the team with 5 rebounds out of their 11. And nobody else more than 2. Malachi David, the other post player, does have 2. And then it was Casares, Vega, Pena, and Acosta all getting 1 apiece. Eagles have started to get a few more turnovers in that second quarter. They have 9, so 2 more than Brownfield. But again, they do have the rebounding advantage by 4. The scoring in the first quarter, Brownfield led 15-8. The Eagles outscored Brownfield in the second, 15-11, but still trail by 3 here in the second. We're getting ready for the second half action. 26-23 Brownfield, 30 seconds, and we're back live at the Gene Messer Tournament in Wolford, Texas. Ready for second half action here. Last game of the Gene Messer Tournament. Brownfield taking on your Hobbs Eagles. The Cubs will have the basketball to start the third. They lead by 3. Ball in the hands of JoJo Carrillo. He throws a shot down the lane. A runner off the back of the rim. Another rebound for Jairus Turbiatis, throwing his elbows around there to get people out of the way. He's got 6 boards to lead both teams. Hobbs now up 12-7 in the rebounding category. 3 shot at the other end off the pass. Pena off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound again for Turbiatis, his 7th. Returns to Pena, top of the circle. He'll back it out to the timeline as he's picked up on D by KJ Carroll. Comes right, stops with the dribble. Up top to Beatty. Beatty swinging left side to Vega. Well outside the perimeter. One hands it to the right side, right in front of the referee where I can't see it, to Pena. Throw it cross court to Acosta on the left baseline. Dribbles out of that, gives it back to Pena behind him on the base. Left side, goes up high off the glass and scores. A push shot towards the rim that time as Pena gets back in the books. He's got 7 points. A steal on the inbound for Vega. Right side of the lane, he lays it in for 2. That's 12 for him, and that will be the 8th turnover for the Cubs. And Coach McPherson doesn't like what he's seeing as the Eagles take a lead. That's a 4-0 run right there to lead 27-26. We'll keep it right here. And, of course, we just reminded you another time that the Hobbs Eagles are back in action on Tuesday. So they've got tomorrow off, probably practice Monday, then back on the court. They take on Centennial, team out of Las Cruces. Of course, Centennial plays against the Eagles in the football league, but not in the basketball league. Right. So I'm still kind of wondering about all that stuff. And did you see this recently, the possibility of Clovis joining the district in football next year? We play them, it's usually the first game of the season every year, but now they're going to be probably moved into our district for next year football. Yeah,
I mean, now it's going to count more. We have the rivalry. We love to see it. We have the trophy, but you know what? That'll make it even one better because it will make more of a difference in the district.
No other additions for football. Bad pass on the inbound after the timeout for the Cubs. Taken away by Turbiatis for another turnover, 9 for the Cubs, even after a timeout. Acosta gets a pass on the left baseline, sends it to Beatty on the left corner. Couple of dribbles and returns to Pena left side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Eagles up by 1 on a 4-0 run. Back deep to Vega on the right side. Throws a deep one down to Turbiatis, but overthrows him. It's picked off by Carrillo. That'll be the Eagles' 10th turnover. Coming across the timeline is Carrillo. Stop and go against Beatty. Dribbles through his legs. Crossover. Top of the arc. Bounce pass on the right wing to Lawrence. Gives it back behind him to Busby for 3. Hard off the back of the rim. A high shot off the iron. And we got a battle underneath for the rebound as Brian Acosta goes toe-to-toe with Joe Mata. And the official kind of splitting them up. They got a little bit chancy there. The jump arrow going to go for the Eagles with a 1-point lead here early in the third quarter. Inbound Vega to the deep right corner as Beatty returns to Vega, gets it back on the yo-yo passing game to half court to Pena, bring it across, back door to Acosta, double clutch, it's rejected in the air, blocked by Rivera, and he picks it up himself. Throws it ahead to a breaking Lawrence, sends it to the left wing to Carrillo in the front court, and a push as Beatty lost his footing, and he gets hit right in the unmentionables. He's hunched over right now. Do I need to be more specific?
No, you don't. But the thing was, he was Carrillo was looking like he was going to launch a 3, did not, but unfortunately the Hobbs Eagle left his feet and landed on him on his back in the wrong spot.
I'll just mention, if you're in baseball, that's what you wear a cup for. 27-26, 6:04 remaining in the third quarter. Eagles by 1. Top of the circle after the inbound. Carrillo tries to thread it down low, does get it complete to Mata. He dumps it back out to the right corner to Rivera. Send it to the right side again to Carrillo. Gets a screen on that right from Mata. Down the lane with a spin move. Kicks it left corner, 3 on the way, and it's off the side of the rim. No good there for Timmons. Rebound, though, on the left baseline for Lawrence, his first board. Sends it back left corner, 3 on the way for Carrillo, no good. Chasing it down on the right wing is Rivera. He might have got pushed by the Hobbs Eagles, and we'll see if they're going to call this one. Yes, they do. It might have been Pena slapping at him that time. That will be Pena. That'll be his second personal, second team foul, and a substitution as David returns. Acosta takes a seat for the Eagles. Cubs will have it on the left baseline underneath their hoop. Rivera to inbound. Has a man wide open, just waits about 10 seconds to shoot that one. Nobody coming out on him. Jaron Lawrence nails it. That's his 3rd tray. He's got 10 points and the 6th three-pointer for the Cubs. Half-court pass to Beatty. It's rejected and taken away in transition. Layup is missed, but a push in the back as Busby got the steal. That's the 11th turnover for the Eagles. He's fouled. He'll get a chance for 2 free throws.
Yeah, that was some quick action. Hobbs needs to settle down a little bit, get back on the game plan, and see if they can get aggressive again without getting over-aggressive on defense.
I think that was against Beatty, his third team foul on the Eagles. First shot for the free throw is off the back of the rim, bricked for Busby. He'll get 1 more. Cubs are now 7 of 9 from the charity stripe. Only missed 1 in the first half. 87% coming into the third quarter. Second shot for Busby is off the back of the rim again. Missed both of them. High rebound for Turbiatis underneath the hoop, his 8th of the ball game. Gives to Beatty near the time stripe. Used up his dribble. Nobody coming back to help, and finally Turbiatis does. Gives back to Beatty in the front court. Over the right wing to Vegas. Slings it back deep to Peñas. Over to left side. David, the big man, going to shoot a 3 off the back of the rim. A big challenge for the rebound. Turbiatis, his ninth on the right baseline to Vega on the left block. Fadeaway jumper knocked to the floor. Ball comes off the back of the rim, but he'll get the foul call. And a chance for 2 free throws. They call that on Mata, his second. And that will be the first team foul against the Cubs here in the third.
And they'll send him to the line, which is good because I think he'll be able to get both of these shots to drop.
Vega is 2 for 2 on the charity stripe. The Eagles as a team at half were 6 of 7 for 85%. Vega trying to add on to his 12 points. Free throw up and good. Sorry, lost our broadcasting signal there for the radio. Should have kept you on the internet, as we should be back up live on the radio now. First free throw was good for Vega. He's got 13 points. He'll get one more. Second one good as well. So both of them put through. Eagles are now 8 of 9 in the free throw department. Tied up at 29 here against Brownfield. 4:53 left in the third. A double team in the deep left corner of the backcourt with Pena and Vega. And they call the foul. Hobbs Eagle fans moaning about that one. Probably should be because they were straight up that time. See who they got that one against. Looks
Pena.
like Pena. Pena gets his third personal. The 4th team foul. One away from the double bonus here in the third. Inbound back deep near the baseline to Lawrence. Bounce pass to the far side to Carrillo. Returns to Lawrence. Now in the front court. Goes through his legs. Gives it off to Carrillo on the right wing. Drives hard to the right corner. Backs out. Spins on the baseline. And returns it back to the right wing to Lawrence. Fires up a 3 off the side of the rim. No good. Loose at the top of the arc. It's pulled down by Rivera. His second rebound. Out to the right side to Carrillo near the Cubs bench. He'll back it out to the timeline. 4:20 left here in the third. Tied up at 29. Coming back to get the basketball is Lawrence. Sends it back to the time stripe to Carrillo, guarded closely by Pena. Comes right with the ball with a handoff near right side to Lawrence. Returns to the run right side to Carrillo for 3 off the side of the rim. And chased down by McGahey on the left wing for the rebound. McGahey's first board, sends it up ahead to Pena right wing. Dribbles to 15, fires up a shot off the left rim. Gets his own rebound, goes back up over the top of the arc, or rim, doesn't get it. And David behind for the tip in for 2 off the right glass. So a couple of rebounds for Pena and David. And the shot for Pena makes it, or David makes it 31-29. David with 5 points. Eagles by 2. At the other end, a long ball down to the left corner for Rivera. Returns the left side for 3 for Busby out the back of the rim. Ball gets hit by Turbiatis and a Cubs player. So a double ricochet that time. Also off the hands of Rivera. We'll have to see who they're going to give the ball to.
Looks like it's going to be the Cubs.
Subs coming on for the Eagles. On the court, first time tonight, Lyric Soria. Of course, he is the son of the current assistant athletic director, former assistant coach for the Hobbs Eagles, and was coaching in Arizona for quite a few years. Had come back a few times for the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Soria is a freshman, one of the 2 ninth graders on the team. The inbound to the left wing, driving hard with the dribble. Carroll gets knocked to the floor. Actually, falling on the floor was Vega. Vega was the defender as he bounced into Carroll. And so Vega is going to be picking up a foul. That's his first. 15th foul means double bonus the rest of this third quarter, and that will send KJ Carroll to the line to shoot 2 shots. 4 for 4 from the charity stripe so far. Bounce around the rim and good on the free throw for Carroll. Having some issues with our radio signal right now still, and hopefully get that back up. Those of you on internet get an added bonus for staying on the whole time. Second shot is good for Carroll. Got them both. He's got 6 points. Perfect on the line, 6 for 6, and we're tied again at 31. Juggernaut here in this game. Last one of the Gene Messer tournament. Eagles in the front court. Soria up top to Vegas. Swinging over to the right side to Beatty. Beatty gets a double team in the corner. Up top to Turbiatis. Over to left wing to Soria. Bounce pass left corner to Vega. It's kind of a low one. Comes down with it. Got up in the air and came back down with it before taking off with the dribble to get a travel. He's going to say he was still on his toes, and that's what Coach Ross is trying to get the official to bite on, but they're not going to change the call on that one. That will be the 12th turnover for the Eagles. He did extend his legs up in the air, but he might have kept that front of the foot down on the floor that time. Inbound near the baseline to Lawrence. He's going to go hard and beat Vega across the timeline. Underhand pass to the left block. A missed tip shot by Mata. Here's Turbiatis with the rebound. He continues to pull him down. He's got 10. Gives out to Beatty in the left baseline. 1-2 and up on the shot and scores over the front of the rim. Braddock Beatty with just his first bucket of the ball game, but a big one as the Eagles take the lead 33-31 here in the third quarter. In the front court, top of the arc is Lawrence. Goes with the reverse layup left side off the glass and put it through for 2. He went right against Turbiatis that time, now has 12 points. 33 all. At the other end, Beatty for three on the right wing. In and out, no good. Ball's loose at the baseline. Beatty tracks down his own rebound. Bounce it back to Vega, right wing for three, and swishes it through. Vega now with 3 3-pointers. He's got 17 points to lead the Eagles. A 3-point lead now, their biggest in the second half. Into the front court comes Lawrence. Sends it over to the left wing to Timmons. Drives baseline against big man David. Returns back deep to Lawrence. Outside the perimeter on the left side, guarded by Soria. Stop and go dribble. Handoff on the left wing to Timmons. Dribbling through his legs, top of the arc. Over to right wing to Mata. Or correction, that is Carroll. Hands it off behind on the right side to Busby. Top of the arc as Vega fell down. Then he fires up a three, does Busby off the back of the rim, though. Rebound on the right block for Mata. Kick out right wing for three for Carroll. And he puts it through the hole. Carroll has his first tray of the ball game. In fact, his first bucket, he's had rest free throws, 6 free throws before that. That is the 7th three-pointer from Brownfield. Tied up at 36. Vega on the right side perimeter. He fires a three in and out. Run down by Lawrence on the left baseline, his second rebound. He'll take the dribble in the front court. Gets across against Beatty, top of the circle. Over to the right wing, coming to the ball is Carroll. To the left elbow off the dribble. Has a man wide open left corner. Timmons for three, no good at the back of the rim. David with the rebound for the Eagles on the left block. That's his 4th board. He'll give it off to Beatty, who brings it through the timeline. Sends it over to the right wing to Vega. Drives baseline, and we have a whistle from Coach Hobbs, Eagle coach on the sideline there, and they stopped the drive. Coach Ross had jumped up and called the timeout. Didn't realize that Vega was driving to the hole on the right baseline, got kind of stuck and didn't see him, and stopped the drive. That could have been a layup.
It could have definitely been a layup, but you know, hindsight's 20/20. Sometimes you think you're doing the right thing, and sometimes it messes up the progress of what's going on at the time.
It's tied up at 36. We got teams shooting three-pointers, got teams on the transition, and this thing looks like it's going to go down to the wire. I guess easy to say that when it's tied up right now.
Well, yeah, right now it is going to go at least to the first half. You know, second half, you always got to expect some adjustments on both sides. It just depends on who can out-adjust the other one and get the win. I think definitely Hobbs should still stay aggressive in the second half, be able to get more opportunities, create more problems for the offense of these Cubs, just simply by doing a four-court press, or just box them out and seeing if they can get them to get frustrated and start throwing the ball and start making turnovers.
And how about that free throw shooting for the Hobbs Eagles in this game so far? 8 of 9 for 88%. Only one miss at this point. Definitely could be a factor in a game so close at 36.
Yeah, lighting it up like the Warriors.
1:13 left, third quarter. Eagle basketball after the timeout. Inbound to Pena, right corner. Posting up David, right block. Back up top to Soria. It's loose, knocked out, but Beatty chases it down at the timeline. Gives it back to Pena with 1 minute left in the third. Ball knocked out from behind. Regains it down the lane. Leans and shoots from the left block. As he almost was knocked out of bounds that time, they get the foul call. So he will get 2 free throws. See who they call this one against. Looks like it's Tom Trebenek, his second. That'll be the second team foul. 5-2 foul count in favor of the Cubs at this point. Pena on the line. He is 1 for 1, make it 2 for 2 on the free throw. He's now got 8 points. Eagles are make it 9 of 10 in the free throw line for 90%. Best of the season so far. This is their 4th game. Pena's second shot is good as well. He's got 9 points, one shy of the double digits. 38-36, Eagles by 2. Ball comes to the near sideline off the pass. Quickly with the dribble into the front court is Timmons. Gives it off to his teammate who fumbles the ball. Tracked down, though, by Carrillo on the left wing. Comes down the lane with a scoop shot off the back of the rim. They're going to call the foul. Eagles are letting those first steps come to the rim, and they try to converge on the driver at the last second, and then they put a body into him, and they paid the price on that one.
And you're right. They are leaving the lanes open, and they're waiting too long to get in there. And by that time, they cause a foul.
It is the 16th foul, though 5 are needed for the double bonus, which will put Joe Carrillo on the line. Misses his first free throw of the night, or the morning, I should say. 2 of 3 now. And the Cubs are now 9 of 13 in the free throw department. 38-36. Cubs trying to get this down to a 1-point deficit. Second shot is up and good. As putting it through his Carrillo, he's got 9 points. 3 for 4 from the line. 43 seconds left in the quarter. Hobbs by 1. Top of the arc, Vega at the other end. Gives to Acosta, middle of the free throw line. Turns and fires to Jay. Bounces around the rim and good. Acosta coming off the bench for that one. His first bucket. And it's a 3-point Eagle lead. 30 seconds remaining in the third. Dribbling behind his back, JoJo Carrillo in the front court, taking on Vega. Gives it off to the right side to Timmons in the perimeter. Hand off to behind to Carroll. Swings it left wing to Carrillo. He'll dribble hard with his left hand through 2 defenders. Leans and shoots. Off the side of the rim, no good. 2 Eagles bat at the basketball instead of pulling it down. It goes out of bounds. Vega and Acosta aggressive, but not getting the mitts on the ball instead of kind of slapping at it, and unfortunately could not get the rebound on that one.
Yeah, disrupting the play, but not being able to get back on the offensive side. That's what Hobbs wants to do.
Inbounder Timmons on the right baseline, looking for somebody with 14. Gets it down deep in the left block. Dribbling in a pivot is Dawson. Returns it back deep to the timeline to Carrillo. Gets a screen, drives a lane, throws up a sidewinder hook over the back of the rim, no good, but tipped back up and in. By the backboard there is Timmons for 5 points and a rebound. The Eagles will not get a half-court shot off before the buzzer sounds here at the end of the third. So we're down to a 1-point game once again. Hobbs 40, Brownfield 39 at the end of 3. We'll take a 30-second break and come back with more Hobbs Eagle Hoops on the No Mark Broadcasting System. Back here in Wolford, Texas, the Gene Messer Tournament final game for the Hobbs Eagles and the Brownfield Cubs. Ty friend Ron Gunner, and at the station, Tiffany Stuber. 40-39, Hobbs up by 1. Looking at the top scorers so far, first for the Brownfield Cubs, they've got a double-digit score in Jaron Lawrence. He's got 12 points, 3 trays, 1 for 2 on the line. JoJo Correa with 9 points. He has a tray, 3 for 4 from the charity stripe. Also 9 for KJ Carroll. He is perfect on the line, 6 for 6, and has a tray also. And 5 points for Trey Timmons off a tray. Tom Trebenek with 2 points along with Joe Mata. So far for the Hobbs Eagles with 17, Braylon Vega. He's converted on 3 trays, perfect on the charity stripe, 4 for 4. Abraham Pena with 9 points, 3 for 3 on the charity stripe. 5 for Turbiatis with 10 rebounds. He's 3 for 4 on the line, and 5 for Malachi Davidu, a 3-pointer in this ball game. 7:55 remaining as we get into the fourth quarter. Hobbs by 1. It's going to be Cubs basketball. Faking a tray at the top of the arc was Lawrence. Gets pass out left and then gets it back. Tries to go up strong with it. Actually going down the lane was Trey Timmons that time. Passed to Lawrence and got it back. He's fouled going up, missed off the side of the rim right, but he'll get some free throws out of this one. As that'll be for the Eagles, their first team foul in this fourth quarter. On the line, Timmons has yet to shoot a free throw. First one's up and good. He's got 6 points. They are now 11 of 14 in the free throw department.
And we have a tie game once again.
Both teams needing to minimize the mistakes because this thing has been back and forth here as of the second half. Second shot bouncing off the front of the rim, no good. Guess who with the rebound? Turbiatis. He's got 11 in this ball game. Throws it across the timeline to Pena, gets double-teamed, almost got tied up, still getting stripped, and is taken away as a steal by Busby. Goes to the rack with it. It gets hit hard in the turnbuckle underneath the hoop. Missed the layup, but is fouled. That will be another Eagle turnover, 13 in the ball game. I believe that was Pena that got him from behind. So that will be Pena's first and the second team foul against the Eagles.
Cubs starting off strong, playing aggressive, and that definitely stripped that one away. Was able to get it across and back into their front court. Almost made the shot, just was a little hot, and also got bumped a little bit. I'm sure that disrupted his aim as well. Actually,
that was Pena who got the second foul there. And putting on the line, Quaviance Busby. He's 0 for 2 from the charity stripe, makes his first free throw, has yet to score up until that free throw there. First point of the second half, and now a lead for the Cubs at 41-40. Starting to look like the Caprock game pretty quickly here. Second shot's up and good. 2 points for Busby, 42-40 in favor of Brownfield. One-man wrecking crew defensively for the Cubs in the backcourt. That's Busby. Eagles pass across against him. Pena gets a double team on that left wing again. Drives to the free throw line. Tries to dish off to David on the left wing. The ball gets knocked out of bounds. And so they're starting to bring 2 of their defenders up hard towards the half-court line against Pena.
Yeah, trying to disrupt a little bit, see what they can get as far as turnovers.
Backdoor cut on the inbounds to David, but he loses the ball, gets tied up. Very tenacious defense now being played by Quaviance Busby. He's the guy that got the steal a second ago, and now he's got the ball back. They got the jump ball at the arrow, going to be for the Eagles underneath their hoop on the left baseline.
Yeah, tried to rip it out of his hands, instead got a jump ball call.
Beatty to inbound, goes into the left corner to Pena, drives the left baseline. Over to Beatty on the right wing, spots up a three, a high rainbow jumper off the side of the rim. Rebound David for a second. We got a foul off ball. Yep. Looks like Beatty shoving one of the Cubs players outside the right wing that time. Not sure why he was tussling that much. They called on Beatty. That's his 4th personal and the 3rd team foul. So Hobbs, a couple of fouls away from the double bonus for the Cubs.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-point Cubs lead. Coming across the timeline is Carrillo to the right wing with a handoff to Lawrence. Comes back to the timeline off the dribble, guarded by Beatty. Zigzagging back to the far right sideline in front of the scorer's table. Crossover move to his left hand, dribbles behind his back, backs out to the time stripe, and a timeout for Coach McPherson and the Cubs. We'll take a break as well. 6:52 left, 4th quarter. It's Brownfield 42, your Hobbs Eagles 40, down by the deuce. We'll be back in half a minute on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and on the radio at Cool 95.7. Close ball game here at the Gene Messer Tournament in Wolford, Texas, outside of Lubbock on this Saturday. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner with you. Tiffany Stuber back at the station. I kind of stumbled on Saturday there. I can't remember what day of the week it was. You've been here. I think we bought a house down the road, didn't we?
Well, yeah, we're thinking about it. Yeah, definitely. Keeps us from getting on the road and getting those possible tickets.
Yeah, not much of a turnaround time there with the Eagles playing last night and had to come back and play one of the early games here at the Gene Messer Tournament, the last one of the tourney. 4 games in 3 days for the Eagles and for these Brownfield Cubs. Their basketball leading by 2. Driving down the lane with a windmill layup. Missing on the right side is Carrillo. Rebound for David. That's his 5th. Sends it ahead to Turbiatis. Goes up strong on the left side with one hand. Misses. Goes back up again. Is fouled. 2 hands over the rim. Counted in the bucket. And a chance for a 3-point play for Turbiatis. He's got 12 rebounds now. Big-time board job for him in this game. I got a feeling the coaching staff got with him after this last game against Canyon last night and said, we need your presence in the paint and take care of business on those glass boards.
Yeah, when you're out there, you need to be more active. Make sure you get near the ball, get your hands on the ball whenever you can.
Missed the free throw. Timmons gets it underneath for the Cubs. He's going to throw it down court to Busby at the layup all the way hard. Nobody getting in front of him that time. And his first bucket of the game, he's got 4 points. 44-42. Brownfield with a 2-point lead, 6:20 remaining. In the front court, Vega, the double team on the left wing. Down low to David, goes up high, misses the shot, gets his rebound, goes back up again on the reverse underneath the right side of the rim. Going to get the foul before he goes back up. But he does pick up his 6th rebound and still trying to get the touch there as a freshman. He went up strong the first time, didn't have much of any defense on him, and just kind of soft shot it there to the rim.
Exactly. I mean, that would have been a perfect first shot, but unfortunately, since you're right, he didn't have enough oomph on it, so he had to go for the second time and ended up getting the foul instead.
Yep, second effort good for David. He gets the first free throw, has 6 points. Eagles are now 11 of 12 on the free throw line. Have only missed 1 free throw in this ball. Actually, 2, excuse me. 2 free throws. Second shot for David's a swish. So he's got 7 points. 45-44, Hobbs up by 1. 6:10 left in the ball game. Cubs in the basketball business here. Brayson Salas, who just checked in. He kicks over to the left wing to KJ Carroll. Back deep to Busby. Actually, correction, that is Lawrence. He'll back it out to the timeline. Crossover move, comes down the lane on the cradle. Tries to pass, but it's taken away in midstream by Jordan Caceres. And for Brownfield, that's their 10th turnover. Outlet to Vega at the timeline to bring it across with a quick dribble to the left wing. Not seeing a double team this time. Posting up David on the left block. Runs over his defender. No call by the referee. He missed it completely. David threw a shoulder into him and got away with it. Gets the bucket as well. He's got 9 points. Physicality in the paint. That's what we like to see.
Exactly. We want to see more of that from the Eagles.
Eagles by 3, 47-44. Jerron Lawrence now in the front court as he's guarded closely by Jordan Caceres for the Eagles. Near the timeline, stop and go to the right wing as he gives a handoff to Carroll. Carroll to the top of the arc. It's a screen down the lane. Reverse layup left. Over the rim. No good. Another rebound for Turbiatis, number 13 on the game. Outlet to the timeline. Vega on the near side right. Bounce pass to the right corner, pulled in by Caceres. Get some pressure on the basketball, able to pivot away from it, give to Vega on the right wing. Vega's going to sling it to the left side to McGahey with the pivot himself, dribbles to the free throw line. Throw it back deep to Turbiatis, left block in the paint, turnaround hook shot. It's good. He shot put it in actually. Started as a hook and then a shot put from the chest at the end of it and puts it through. He's got 7 points and 13 rebounds. Hobbs' biggest lead in the second half is 4. 48-44, top of the arc, stop and go dribble for Lawrence. Hands it off on the left wing to Timmons, to the free throw line, crossover move to the rack. It's rejected by David from behind to the baseline. Nice block on the ball there, and he got his hand right on the leather. Didn't slide it left or right, just right on top of the basketball.
Exactly, that's how you are supposed to block it. Get on top of that thing, knock it out, and say, not in this house.
Trey Trimmons inbound, back deep. Coming down with it is Quaviance Busby. He fumbles it, rolls into the backcourt. He never had possession. I don't think that would be a backcourt violation. Maybe he did come down with it just momentarily. His coach is questioning it right now, just like what I saw. Did he have possession first, or was the fumble first? That's the question. Zane McPherson, the coach, talked to one official. The calling official is going to have to be discussed with here. I never think he had possession first. If he had possession and fumble it backward, then that would be a backcourt violation. That's what the refs are getting together about.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he had his hand on it, but possession, no, he didn't. However, refs have confirmed.
They're giving it to Hobbs.
It's going to be Hobbs. Yep.
Yeah, the official that was in the front of the play, the forward position, he calls it for Hobbs, and so Hobbs basketball in the front court. That goes down as a turnover. I think that should have been Brownfield basketball. They get it inside to David. Nice turnaround Jay on the left side of the glass to put it through. David now with his biggest points of the year at 11. Eagles had their biggest lead in the second half, make it 6 here at the Gene Messer tournament. In the front court on the left wing is Busby. Busby will hand it off behind to him, to Salas. To the right wing, driving is Lawrence. Lawrence at the free throw line, back to Salas, down the lane. He tries a windmill layup, it's rejected, loose on the court, still loose, picked up on the near side, right by Lawrence. That's his 3rd rebound. Lawrence goes to the rack, a double clutch, misses, gets it tipped, pulled down by Timmons. On the left wing, no look pass to the right side perimeter to Lawrence. Lawrence going to drive to the corner right and throws up a 3 on the fadeaway and puts it up near the bench of the Cubs, and Nate gets it going through the net. That's another tray for him. He's got 4 in this game. Lawrence now with 15 points and keeps the Cubs in the contest 50-47. Coach McPherson back out on the court. He's having a discussion with the referee that called the backcourt violation, and I do think that should be in the favor of the Cubs on that one. He never did have possession on that inbound. And you can bobble it, a muff if you want to call it that in football, but a muff to the backcourt, as long as you don't possess it first, is considered a retrievable ball.
But either way, Hobbs on an 8-0 run. That was ended by that 3-point shot from the Cubs. Hobbs coming back to life. Still only 3 up with about 5 minutes to go or 4 minutes to go in this final game and the final, final quarter. So, Hobbs playing well. Needs to keep the intensity up. We'd like to see that. We haven't seen that for much of this tournament. I think it's just simply because they're bonding, they're getting better, and they're learning from their mistakes.
Top scorer so far for the Eagles, but yet to score in this 4th quarter, Braylon Vega was 17. Big-time production for Malachi David, as he's got 13 points at this point, to make it 11 for Malachi David and 6 rebounds. 9 for Abraham Pena, who's 3 for 3 on the line. Jairus Turbiatis, the leader in rebounds with 13 and 7 points. So lots of guys stepping up. Not all the names you've been hearing throughout the other games, but they are starting to put themselves some effort here in this last game of the tournament. 3:25 remaining. Hobbs up by 3. Pass down to the right corner to Caceres. Bounces it back to Vega, still on the right side. Cross court left over to McGahey. To Turbiatis on the left elbow with the pivot. Gives to Vega on the right wing for 3, and he swishes it through. Big time bucket for the sophomore Vega. He's got 20 points, and that is his 4th tray of the ball game. Eagles match their biggest lead in the second half of 6. 53-47, 3 minutes remaining. In the front court, KJ Carroll. You hand it off on the right side, perimeter to Lawrence. Top of the circle now off the dribble. Crossover move to his left hand. Zings it down to the left corner to Busby. His 3 and air ball, and the ball knocked out by the Cubs. Eagles will get it back, leading by 6 with 2:51 remaining, trying to get their 2nd win here at the Gene Messer tournament in Wolford, Texas.
And they're on the way. They're doing the right things right now at the right time.
Little trap action for the Cubs. As McGahey throws it up court, bringing it across Caceres, backdoor to Turbiatis right side, a big jump stop, goes backdoor to David, and they're going to call the foul. Turbiatis is knocked to the court. Hopefully they're not going to call this on him. As he passed to David backdoor, there was a big tumble to the to the hardwood that time. I'm not sure they're going to call him or the defender on that one. They do get a foul call. It will be against the defender for the Cubs. That's their third team foul. So that's going to go against Tom Trebenek. Hobbs basketball on the left baseline. McGahee will throw it back deep, but not deep enough. It's stolen away in the midair. Taken away by Lawrence. He has an uncontested lefty left and puts it through. He's got 17 points. That is the Eagles' 14th turnover. A 4-point game, 53-49 Eagles. Caceres in the front court to David in the left corner. Coach Ross jumps up and wants a timeout. He wants the Eagles to be patterned on the offense and not give up any turnovers to give the Cubs a chance to get back in this one. 2:30 remaining, fourth quarter. Hobbs 53, Brownfield 49. We're back in 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. (53-49) your score. The Eagles trying to get their second win here at the Gene Messer tournament over Brownfield by 4 points. Been as high as 6 here in the second half. And Ron, Coach Ross called the timeout on that last possession. Do have a 4-point lead, but he doesn't want to have any quick shots here. If it's something wide open and a little bit closer than 3-point range, I think you go ahead and have the green light. But you don't want to have any opportunities of shots where there's nobody on the rebounding side of it, because that means that's going to be a Cubs takeoff to the other end, and they're only down by 4 at this point.
Exactly, and they've been doing that lately. So, yeah, you want to slow down the roll a little bit, make your shots a little bit better, choose them wisely, and not make any mistakes. Give a chance for the Cubs to come back and get the lead again.
Eagles will stack it up on the left side of the paint. They have Pena on the right side himself. Beatty to inbound to Pena after getting some screens down in the left corner. He'll dribble back deep to run some clock with 2:25 remaining. Guarded closely by Timmons. Give handoff to Vega, going right to left around the circle to Beatty. We're going to have a little bit of a rotational handoff pinwheel game here as Pena comes and gets it top of the arc, drives the lane, jump stop, shot from the middle of the paint, no good. Turbiatis with the rebound, his 14th. He dribbles out of the traffic and throws it back to the timeline to Vega. Vega with the handoff to Beatty. Beatty fumbles the ball at the half-court line, but there's a foul first. And it looked like they got Vega was pushed into as he tried to pass. That might have been why the pass was errant.
All right.
That'll be the 4th foul on the Cubs. Eagle basketball on the near sideline. Beatty the inbound to Pena at the time strike. Picking him up on D is Timmons. Handoff to Beatty. Gets it stripped out of his hands. Eagles some lazy handoffs, and luckily these are going out of bounds, knocked out by the Cubs. Definitely got to get some more physicality with those handoffs if you're going to do those type of passes. I'm not a big fan of handoffs ever, but coaches do use it when they need to. Inbound to David, right corner, give and go to Beatty. It's a bad throw, taken away by Carroll for the Eagles' 15th turnover. Up ahead, and a block by Pena from behind, swatting the ball of Carroll. He brings it into the front court. Down to Vega on the left block, goes to the rack and lays it in for 2. Vega with 22 points to lead the Eagles, and Hobbs up by 6 to match your biggest lead of the second half, 55-49. 1:40 left in the game. Dribbling around in the front court is Carroll on the left wing. Handed off to Busby. Busby guarded by Pena. What a block by Pena just seconds ago. Sends it over to the right wing to Timmons. Timmons hands out behind on the right side to Lawrence. Lawrence at the top of the arc. Crossover move to the lane. Jump stop. A shot from the left side of the block. It's off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound by Trebenbeck, but he gives it right to David on the turnover. So that'll be the 12th turnover for the Cubs. Outlet to Beatty on the far sideline left. Across the timeline to Pena. 1:12 remaining. He'll dribble the top of the circle. Backs it out with 1:08 and is pushed.
There's a run into.
By K.J. Carroll, his first. That will be the 5th team foul on Brownfield, which put the Eagles in the double bonus the rest of the game. And that'll set up Pena, who's perfect on the charity stripe at 3 for 3.
Yeah, Pena was double teamed. He had Carroll and Lawrence on him. Lawrence ran into him. I thought he was going to get the call, but I guess Carroll did instead. Either way, the foul shot, and he's on the line.
First shot for Pena is a swish. He's got 10 points, got the double digits. Second leading scorer, actually third leading scorer, has a 10. Malachi David with 11, but he can match him here with a free throw. 4 for 4 on the charity stripe is Pena. The junior guard for the Eagles. Second shot off the front of the rim. I hexed him on that one. High rebound there for Busby underneath for the Cubs. They're going to call a body foul on Beatty. So Beatty will pick up the foul. That is his 5th personal. Unfortunately, Beatty's going to foul out with 2 points in this game. But a good effort for him out there with the physical play he provides the Eagles. On the court for Hobbs on the substitution, Amari Magehe. And there'll be an inbound for the Cubs. Into Lawrence with 1 minute remaining. Eagles by 7. They throw it down low to the left block. Pivoting, looking for help is Carroll. Goes back door with it. A shot on the way. They got a foul underneath, and that's going to be a charge. Looks like Turbiatis gets the charge call. They got it down to Triebenbeck, who runs him over. That's his 4th personal. No shot on that one due to an offensive foul. Hobbs has it with a 7-point lead, their biggest of the ball game. 56 seconds remaining, 56-49. David throws it to timeline to Pena, gets bodied from behind as they get the foul on Lawrence. Stops the clock with 53 seconds. Coach McPherson showing the travel signal there, which might have got that after the foul, but definitely not before it. Eagles with a big huddle at the free throw stripe as Pena steps up. He is 4 for 5 from the line, was just there seconds ago. Eagles been shooting the 80% range for much of the game. First shot's up and good. Now he's double digits with 11 total. He's tied up David for second on the team. No, actually, David scored on that last possession. He's got 13 now. And now Pena with 12 as he makes both free throws. 58-49, their biggest lead of the game is 9 for the Eagles. 48 seconds remaining. In the front court, fumbling it for a second is Lawrence, able to scoop it up top to Carroll. Carroll loses it for a second, able to tap out to the right wing to Busby. Fires up an NBA 3, clinks off the right rim, and rolls out of bounds on the right corner. It'll go back to the Hobbs Eagles. Omelka, 9-point lead, hopefully to the wire here with 38 seconds remaining. Again, don't forget on Tuesday night, Eagles back in action at home at Task Arena, first home game of the season, as they will host Centennial. 6:45 pregame show, tip-off at 7.
The Hawks versus Eagles.
Battle of the Birds on the No Mark Broadcasting Stations. Inbound to Pena. Stop and go dribble. Throws it across to McGahey. Touch pass to David on the right wing. Pena comes back and gets it. Gets shoved right into the official that time. Had his head taken off. Gives us a little grin as he comes to the sideline there and almost took a tumble to the hardwood. That was a pretty aggressive foul on the Cubs player. That'll be going against Lawrence, his second.
Well, they have been aggressive.
Back to line goes Pena. He is 6 of 7 from the charity stripe for 12 points, trying to make it 13 here to match David for second on the team. And he misses out the back of the rim. I guess I got to quit bringing that point up every time, trying to get into that second position for scoring. And every time I say that, Pena unfortunately hits the rim.
Well, just whisper it so he doesn't hear it.
Been on the line quite a bit in this game. There's his 13th point as he makes his second free throw. And the Eagles have their biggest lead now at 10. 59-49. Cubs quickly in the front court, firing a 3 is Lawrence from the right side off the back of the rim. Vega gets the rebound. Actually did miss the rim. Vega gets his second rebound underneath the hoop, and they get the foul call on Busby. Stops the clock. 20 seconds remaining, and Vega will take the march to the other end of the court for the free throws. Double bonus, of course, here in that new rule this year across the state of New Mexico and throughout the NFHS, which governs most teams. Now, of course, here in Texas, they don't follow all the NFHS rules, and sometimes we see some differences there, especially with the mercy rule. We're
seeing the Cubs, though, they're getting desperate. They're trying to get those threes, getting a one and done, and that's not helping their cause. It's really hurting them. And at this point, it's an 11-point game, so they're pretty much trying to shoot to get back into it, but there's very unlikely that they will be able to land any of those threes.
Raylan missed his first, or made his first, missed the second. The rebound on the left baseline, but a bad pass to the sideline by Trey Timmons for the turnover. That's their 13th of the ball game. Big production for Vega in this contest, 23 points, and he had 5 of 6 free throw shooting in the game as well, and also converted on 4 trays. 60-49, Eagles' biggest lead of 11 now. They have it in the deep left corner. Vega gets a double team against him. Throws a high one back deep to McGahey with 3 seconds, just running the clock out here, and the Eagles are going to finish up the Gene Messer tournament with a second win, 60-49. Over the Brownfield Cubs. And that will wrap up the tournament here at Wolford, Texas, as we will take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show. Again, the win, 60-49 over Brownfield. Come back with us at the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on your No Mark Broadcasting stations. Back live here at the Gene Messer Tournament in Wolford, Texas. Ty friend Ron Gunner and Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Your Hobbs Eagles with the victory in this one, 60-49. Eagles outscoring Brownfield 20-10, doubling them up there in the fourth quarter, and a great way to end this game. Been pretty close throughout much of it, Ron. I mean, it was 1 point game one way. It was tied up for a few minutes and go back 1 point the other way. Hobbs finally getting the separation there. Is there anything you can point your finger at that did finally get that separation for Hobbs towards the end of the game?
I think I know that the Cubs were aggressive. Hobbs was getting aggressive in the second, in the third, and the fourth. I think sometimes they got a little lackluster as well as far as the passing, as you had mentioned earlier, along with a couple other things. They were still having little problems, but in the end, they cinched it all up. What they did, they went ahead and forced the threes. Or at least that's what the Cubs were doing. They were trying to get 3-point shots to get back in the game as quickly as possible. That's what a lot of teams do in desperation. And instead of doing that, they got further and further behind because they were only getting one and done. And so Hobbs was basically taking advantage of those, getting the ball back, as well as, of course, forcing the ball to be turned over, whether it be by passing or just bad dribbling, whatever it was. And Hobbs was also getting some good breaks under the basket as far as rebounding. I love the fact that they got better in the rebounding. They were able to get the ball, get those second chance points, and they used a lot of them to clean up the glass and get those points back on the board, and that's where they need to be. You know, they didn't score as much as we're used to them, but still, they did a whole lot better than they did the last 3 games. I think they really are improving, and if we can see anything from this game, we can say this, that they are ready for the season, and they're just going to get improving and better as the games go on.
You mentioned rebounding, definitely a factor in this game. 29-17, the Eagles get the advantage there thanks to their post players stepping up big. Of course, Jairus Turbiatis with 14 rebounds to lead both teams. Malachi David getting some time off the bench too. He had 6 rebounds with those numbers there. So those two guys really helping out the cause. 20 rebounds combined with those two players, Turbiatis and David. You got to remember they got some size out there. Turbiatis 6'6" and David 6'7". We get Parker Henderson back, which I've been told by Coach Reese should be this week. There's another big guy that you can work in there. A little bit different of a player. I don't think he is as active as you can see those two guys that we've seen. He's not going to shoot the tray like we saw David do. We've seen David shoot trays in every game, I think, this tournament, and I don't think he's as swift of foot, as you would say, with Turbiatis, but he's more of a bulky kid. You give him the ball down low, and he might be able to throw that shoulder around and maybe dish out the ball or go up strong with it. So I'd like to see that addition coming up next week. Let's look at the numbers here for both teams. First of all, for the Cubs, they only get 1 in double digits. Jaron Lewis, who we talked about in the pregame show, expected him to be their top man. He had 17 points and had 4 of the 8 3-pointers. So Brownfield was managing those trays in the game. We mentioned he had 3 against that Monterey team on the first game of the season, but this game really lighting it up big. Again, he's the leader with 17. Jojo Carrillo finished up with 9. He had a couple of trays as well and went 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. We should mention Lawrence was 1 of 2 from the line. That was way back in the first quarter. KJ Carroll, another 9-point score. Most of his coming at the free throw line where he was 6 of 6. Also had a tray and total with 9 points once again. Quiviance Busby had 4 points. He was 2 for 4 from the charity stripe and had 1 bucket on top of that. Tom Trebanek had 2 points off 1 bucket, same with Joe Mata. So in terms of scoring in this game, 7 scores for the Brownfield Cubs. They were 13 of 18 from the free throw line for 72%. We mentioned they had 8 3-pointers, 17 rebounds compared to 29 for the Eagles, and finished up with 13 turnovers in this ball game. For your Hobbs Eagles, big point man in this one. In fact, there were 3 double-digiters in the game. Braylon Vega with 23 points. He converted on 4 3-pointers and had lots of opportunities on the line where he went 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. So he definitely was a go-to guy in this game and lights it up. Of course, he had an earlier game at the tournament where he was in double digits as well, as he was able to put 13 down against Canyon last night. Also with double digits, Abraham Pena, he finished with 13 points. Did not have any trays in this game, but he spent a lot of time on the free throw line in this contest, Ron.
Yeah, he did. And, you got to appreciate the fact that, of the last couple of years, we've always talked about the fact that the free throws have been a kind of a bugaboo. We needed to work on those. They've been working on them. And I think this year, or at least this game anyway, they did a whole lot better on the free throw line. And, you got to get those charity stripe points, everything you got, especially since, they are free. So you take as many as you can get.
Yeah, he was 7 of 9 from the line in this game and only had about 3 baskets other than that, but definitely 13 points, very well much needed in this contest to pull out the double-digit win. Finally, another double-digit score. I kept messing up his numbers in this game. I kept saying he had 13. It was Pena with 13. Malachi David finished with 11, and he was also 2 for 2 on the line. So those three guys definitely stepping up big. Vega 23, Pena 13, and David with 11. Jairus Turbiatis wasn't the top scorer with 7 and 3 of 5 from the free throw line, but he was the top rebounder, finishing with 14. A good breakout game on the glass for Turbiatis and really moving swiftly in the paint for the Hobbs Eagles. Braddock Beatty, a low-scoring night for him. He had 2 points, had a rebound as well, and Brian Acosta, he was a starter with 2 points. Still want to see a breakout game from the Acosta kid. Likes to post up, but yet to get a really big production from him offensively, but there's time to come for the Eagles. So Hobbs finishing up with 6 scores in this game. They were 17 of 22 from the free throw line for 77%. We mentioned they out-rebounded Brownfield 29-17. And they had 15 turnovers, so a couple more than Brownfield, but still get the 11-point win, 60-49. Eagles go 2-2 at the tournament. Ron, does that give you any type of thoughts about the coming season as they start with Centennial on Tuesday at Tasker Arena?
Well, unfortunately, because of the fact that some of these teams have not been as strong as what we're used to, it gives me hope the fact that the team does want to play together. They want to learn and gel. But with Centennial, they're going to have to learn really quickly to get up more as far as being aggressive and get into it, get defensive, get those rebounds, and make sure you try to drive the lane, do something to draw those fouls so you can get on the line and, of course, work on your free throws.
It is good that the Eagles have a chance to actually have a home game on Tuesday. That'd be kind of a tough deal. 4 games in 3 days and have to travel all the way to Las Cruces to play Centennial.
Exactly. It would be it'd be like road warriors, and we've seen that happen before, but, sometimes it does take a toll on you, and even with a couple of days rest, it still would be a possibility that would wear them out enough that it would just not be a real good game for them when they'd be on the road.
And actually, according to the Max Preps schedule for Centennial, they have not played a game yet. Their first game is against the Hobbs Eagles. It will be a road trip for them. In fact, they've got 3 road games in a row. Hobbs on the 5th, which is Tuesday. They go to La Cueva in Albuquerque and Highland in Albuquerque on the 8th and 9th. And then another road game, the 14th, at Monzano. So they're starting a little bit later than some of the other teams around the state, but they're making up for it with a lot of road trips and some big games in the Duke City.
Yeah, sometimes you just, you got to get your games where you can. And if you start on the road, sometimes that actually gets you toughened up as far as your road legs, as well as your sense of, you always have the homers. You always feel you have the support. So on the road, you don't have that kind of support. So you got to fight against that as well. It strengthens you up and it gets you more character and gets you into the game a lot faster.
Last year, the Eagles went on the road to play Centennial and won a tight one, 72-67, to pick up the victory in Las Cruces. So Hobbs doesn't have to worry about going on that road trip, which is a good thing. Final score again in this one, 60-49. The Eagles go 2-2 at the Gene Messer tournament. That's their overall record as they knock off Brownfield. And been an exciting week or 3 days of basketball. It's felt like a week here in Wolford, Texas. And the big question is whether or not it will be replicated next year of Coach, whoever the coach might be. Of course, we know Coach Reeves said he's retiring. Whoever the coach is making a decision if they want the tough competition like they did here with the Texas teams. And Ron, our final mention of our sponsors again on the radio and the internet here for the season.
Exactly. Once again, we want to thank Glasgow Construction, Forest Tire, TDS, Hobbs Express, Thriftway, Lee County State Bank, Elite Home Health Care, along with NMR Pipeline and First American Bank of Hobbs. Thank you very much once again.
And if you're wondering who the championship game is here at the Gene Messer tournament, Rockwell Heath is taking on the home team Friendship, and that'll be later this afternoon at 3 o'clock. And again, that might be on the internet somewhere. It looks like we're the only media that's been here the last 3 days, but who knows. Again, thanks to Tiffany Stuber back at the station. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend, have a great rest of a weekend out there. We'll see you Tuesday, 6:45 against Centennial at Tasker Arena.